Hello there, this is Simon and these are the Curve Python series. Okay, let's get started. So today we are going to be looking at relational operators, also known as comparison operators, and we shall also be looking at logical operators. So let's dive into this immediately. So first, what are operators? So operators in Python are symbols used to perform operations on variables and values or numbers. You remember the other time we looked at arithmetic operators. Let's say you want to add two numbers, you want to subtract two numbers, you want to multiply them. In order to do that, you use operators. And the other time we looked at arithmetic operators. Now today we want to look at comparison operators, also known as relational operators. We shall also look at logical operators. Now there are several types of operators used in Python and programming in general. We have what we call assignment operators. For example, equals. Equal sign is an assignment operator. We use it to assign a value to a variable. That's what we call an assignment operator. There are other types of assignment operators. We shall be seeing them as we move forward with our series. Then we also have membership operators. We shall also look at them when we reach where we need to use them. We also have bitwise operators. We shall be seeing and diving into most of this as we move forward. For today, let us look at comparison operators and logical operators. So, what are comparison operators? These types of operators are used to compare two values and return true or false. Not necessarily two values, they can compare more than two or more values. Can even have three, four, more than two values. Two or more values can be compared using comparison operators. Now, these are mainly useful in decision making and conditional expressions. In our next episode, we shall be looking at conditional statements, loops, decision making, and you will see that these comparison operators will be handy in those two areas. So make sure you understand them and you're very good with them. So these are the comparison operators that we shall be looking at. We have the equal to. Yeah, we use two equal signs to indicate equal to. It checks if two values are the same. Then we have not equal to. That's how not equal to is represented. You use this exclamation mark followed with the equal sign. So together, this is called the not equal to operator. When you have two equal signs, it is called the equal to operator, and it checks whether two values are equal. When you use an exclamation mark with the equal to sign, this is called not equal to. It checks if two values are not equal. Okay, let me dive to my VS Code. I'm done. I'm tired of talking. Let me jump there and we start doing these things as we are practicing. Okay, why is my VS Code not opening? Oh, what happened? What the hell happened? Okay, yeah. So I'm going to create a new file as usual. Okay, let me save it. I've created a new file. I'm going to save it. For simplicity, I'll still save it on the desktop. Oh, my machine is probably slow for now. Why? Okay, okay. I want to store this file on the desktop. Okay, desktop is here, and I want to name it operators.py. Operators.py. Okay, now I'm good to go. Operators.py. Okay, so we want to practice how to use these types of operators. The first one, we're having the equal to operator, and then we have the not equal to operator. How do we use these types of operators? Let me declare one variable here. I'm going to call it x. Now I'm using equal to here. We said equal to is an assignment operator. This statement means I've created a variable x and I have assigned 20 to it. So in other words, whenever I want to reference 20, I just call x because I assigned the value 20 to x. So equal to is called the assignment operator. It is used for assigning values to variables. And then I also create another variable, let me call it y, and to it, I assign a value 10, and that is it. Now I want to perform, I want to do comparisons. I want to compare these two variables, and I see the relationship between them, that I can later use it in logical, so that I can later use it in decision making. So I want to compare these two variables. First, I'll begin. I want to check between x and y. Okay, let me first check, is x and y equal? So to do that, if I want to check whether some two variables are equal, I'll need the equal to operator. So what I'll do, I'll say print x equal to y. You have to make sure you use two equals, that is the equal to operator. So when I write a statement like this, it is like I'm asking the compiler. Let me first clear here. The terminal is not clean. Okay. So when I write a statement like this, print into brackets x equals y. In programming, we read it like this. I'm asking the compiler, is x equal to y? So this requires a yes or no answer, or true or false answer. So the compiler will return for me an answer. It will try to compare x equals to 20, y equals to 10. Are these two equal? Let's see the answer which it will give me after running this. Okay, I didn't save. Okay, when I save this and run it, I'm now asking the compiler, you're seeing the answer it is returning. I asked whether x is equal to y. It is telling me false. This is not true. They are not equal. So let me create another variable here, z, being also equal to 20. Okay, now I've created another variable, z, which is equal to 20. Now let me ask the compiler, is x equal to z? When I save and run, you're seeing now it is returning true. And indeed, you can see that x is equal to z. So that is how the equal to operator does. It returns true if the values you're comparing are equal. And it returns false if the values you're comparing are not equal. Now, let's look at the not equal to operator. The not equal to operator is just the opposite of the equal to operator. Let me first comment this out so that we don't print it anymore. Now, on the next line, I want to print, I want to check whether x is not equal to y. Now, I'm asking the compiler, is it true that x is not equal to y? So I hope you're guessing the answer which I'm supposed to get. The first place I asked whether x is equal to y, and that was false. They are not equal. Now I'm asking, is it true that x is not equal to y? When you look at x and y, it is true that they are not equal. So let's see the answer which it will return for us. Yeah, it is returning true because it is true. X is not equal to y. So that is how the not equal to operator. Now, if they are equal, let's check what it returns. Now, let me put here z. When I put there z, now I'm asking the compiler, is it true that x is not equal to z? But when you look at them, they are equal. So, me, I'm asking, is it true that x is not equal to z? Let's see the answer. Oh, what did I do? Okay, okay. You're seeing we are getting false. Although we've damaged some stuff here, we messed up. What did we do? But still it is running, it is fine. So it is telling me that it false. It is not true that these two are not equal. I hope I'm not confusing you. All right. Let's proceed. Now let's look at the greater than operator. The greater than operator, we use it to check whether a certain variable is greater than the other. So inside here, I can put, let me use y and z. So I'll ask the compiler, is it true that z is greater than y? Is it true that z is greater than y? When you look at that, you see that that is true. Let's see what the compiler says. Yeah, it is saying that that is indeed true. Z is greater than y. So that is done. To use the less than equal operator, we use that one. I hope you know these operators. They are the same like we use it in math. Okay. So I'm asking the compiler, is it true that z is less than y? We all know that that is not true. So that's why you're seeing false here. Now let me twist it. Let me twist it and say, is it true that y is less than z? Is it true that y? Yeah, it is very true. Y is less than z. I hope that is fine. So we are done with these first four. Let's now look at this. They are more or less the same. So we want to see how to use the less than or equal to. Less than or equal to. Now, when you look at x and z, you can see that they are equal. So if I come here and say, is it true that x is less than or equal to z? Those who did math, you can be guessing the answer here. I'm asking, is it true that x is less than or equal to z? So here it will print true for two scenarios. If x is less than z or is x less than z and at the same time no, or x is equal to z. So if x is less than z, it will print true. If x is equal to z, still it will print true. It will only print false if x is greater than z. So here there are two chances where we can get the answer. Let's print and see. Yeah, you're seeing we are getting true. Why are we getting true? Because x is equal to z. Now, if we make x, let's make it 2. And we see the answer it gives us. Yeah, you're seeing still we are getting true. Because it prints true if x is less than z or x is equal to z. Now, let's make it 30 and we see whether we shall still get a true. Save and run. Now we are getting a false because both conditions have failed. X is not less than z and x is not equal to z. So we are getting a false here. That is it. Let's now look at the greater than or equal to. Now let's try to ask, is x greater than or equal to z? When you save, and run, yeah, we're getting a true because indeed we can see that 30 is greater than 20. So this first condition is satisfied. But even if we twist it and we also make this 30, we should be able to get a true. When you run, yeah, we are still getting a true because they are equal. But if we make this a 40, should we still be able to get a true? Let's wait and see. Now we are getting a false because x is not greater than z and x is not equal to z. So what do we get? A false. Okay. Oh, okay. That is that. So I hope we are good to go with the, oh, I hope we are good to go with the comparison operators. The other name for comparison operators is relational operators. They are used to compare two values or two variables in your program. Now let's look at, hey, what's this? Okay, so you're supposed to be looking at logical operators. These are not logical operators. I'm sorry for that. Oh, okay, there was an error when preparing these slides. So these are not logical operators. Let's look at logical operators from our VS Code here. We apologize for that noise in the background. Okay, so let's look at logical operators. Let's look at logical operators. So we have what we call the logical and. We have what we call the logical and. So the logical operators are used for checking more than two conditions. They check more than two conditions and print true if both conditions are true. Now, let me let me first comment out this. Let me first comment this. I'm going to feed you. Okay, so initially we have been handling one operation at a go. If it is less than, we only handle less than. If it is equal to, we will handle only that. So logical operators helps us to handle more than two operations at a go using logical and, there is logical or, and there is also logical not. So let's begin with logical and operator. How do we use the logical and operator? Let's try to see. For now, okay, let me print and say. Now I'll ask the compiler, is it true that Z is greater than, okay, is it true that Z is greater, where am I? Is it true that Z is greater than, okay, I lost connection. Okay, sorry, I had lost you there.